Dance, a purposeful form of movement that has some symbolic, societal, or aesthetic value. When yoga happens, just like the dance, it can be an uplifting experience that transcends many other art forms, while still keeping its integrity to the tenets or elements of dance, namely space, which is literally the location where you're practicing, time, which speaks to the duration of that particular practice, and energy, which is literally the force that drives you into that movement. This is the essence of day number 56. Enjoy the practice. Namaste, yogis. It's Goga, kinda like yoga. 2 years in the game, 78 postures later, it is clear hip openers are the big boys or girls in yoga. From sitting ones, lunges, squats, goddesses, hamstring stretchers, including the inversions. With this foundation, I'm convinced that we are ready to take a 90-day journey towards the mother of them all. They call it Hanumasana, monkey, or as most of you know it, the splits. Enjoy the ride. Namaste, yogis. So day number 56, I want to make it more about restoring my body. I feel very stiff, so this practice is going to take a lot of stretches. So come into Tadasana. Tadasana, you come into even standing, rooting firmly through your heels, palms facing forward. Take a deep breath in, exhale. Drawing your belly in to push out the air throughout your nose. Inhale deeply. Exhale. One more breath. Empty. Now, from here, sweep your hands up, find a back bend, drop your head back even maybe. Exhale so that you can twist towards the right side. Take your right hand back, left hand is forward, gazing towards your right thumb, long spine, finding a nice twist on the spine. Twist even deeper, rotating the rib cage towards the right. Take your hands back up, find a twist towards the other side. So right hand forward, left hand back, trying to keep the spine long. Rib cage is twisting out towards the left side, twisting deeper. Exhale. Come back to the front. Take your hands above your head. So that you can spill over and bow forward into a forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, head up flat back. Drawing your feet firmly on the ground. And see whether you can press your hands down. Take your left leg back. Right knee is in front. And then sweep your hands overhead. And so they can lift that back knee off the ground, coming into crescent warrior. Inhale. Exhale, gazing up towards the thumbs. You can bring your hands to touch. Then exhale, bring your hands down. Stay here for a bit in a low lunge. Inhaling and exhaling. And then take your foot back, downward facing dog, trying to create an inverted view with your body. Lift up, come into your tippy toes. Bend your knees slightly. Gaze into the space between your hands. And so that you can walk to the top of the mat. Coming into halfway lift. Inhale, exhale, bow forward, spill down towards the thighs. Take your hands up, overhead, find a back bend if possible. Exhale, dive in. Now from here, coming into halfway lift flat back, so that you can take your hands down and then take the back leg towards the back. Finding crescent lunge on the other side. Lifting the back knee off the ground, gaze towards the thumbs on the left side, feeling that nice stretch. And then take your hands down, downward facing dog. And then gently shift your weight forward into plank. Engage your core here. squeezing your belly tight. Come all the way to your belly, lie down on your belly. Keep your hands out there, and then so that you can lift up into cobra, elbows slightly bent. Maybe take a twist towards the right side, then lower down, push again into cobra, and twist towards the other side. And then from here, bring your chest down once again, tuck your toes under, push back into downward facing dog. Bend your knees slightly, come into your tippy toes, and so that you can jump, walk, or step to the top of the mat. Coming into halfway lift, flat back, gazing forward, and exhale, bow forward like a yogi, feeling that nice hamstring stretch here. Sweep your hands up, palms touch, gaze towards your thumbs, growing tall, dropping your shoulders away from the ears, and then bring your hands to the side of your body. Bend your knees, sink your hips lower, lift your hands up, gaze up, coming into chair pose or the fierce posture. And then from here, take your hands towards the back, lift onto your heels like a ballerina, and come into half chair pose. Inhale, take your hands back into full chair pose. Exhale so that you can bow forward. Halfway lift, look forward, hands on your shins, flat back. And then so that you can take your left foot back, coming into low lunge here. Find crescent warrior here. And so that you can find a twist, taking your right hand forward, gaze towards your left. Just try to find a bit of twist here on my spine. Hands down on the ground. Gaze forward, inhale up. Exhale so that you can bow forward, straighten the knee. So inhale as if you're doing cow pose. Low lunge, open the chest. Exhale, bow forward into cat. You can do this several times as you're trying to bring in that stretch on the spine. You're also giving that right leg a very nice hamstring stretch. Bend your knee, find your way back into crescent warrior. Feeling that stretch of the arms overhead and the back foot. And so that you can bend your elbows like goalpost arms, coming into half angel, opening your chest, opening your heart to possibilities. Drop your head slightly back. Keep dropping your head back as you keep sinking into that front knee. Then hands down on the ground. Gaze forward, inhale. On the next exhale, see whether you can walk back into forward fold. But as you fold forward, you want to crisscross your legs. So you want to take your left leg, bring your pinky toes to touch, inhale, halfway lift, and then exhale so that you can bow forward. Feeling that nice stretch on the entire left hamstring here. Inhale and exhale. And the more you bow here, the more you'll feel that hamstring stretch. The inner hamstrings are getting a very nice stretch. And cross the legs. Inhale. Halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, so that you can bow forward. And then from here, we come into chair pose. And then so that you can find a bow. And then take the opposite leg back. So in my case, I'm going to take the right leg back. Keep the front knee bent. Stay here for a bit and so that you can come into full crescent warrior. Find a twist towards the right side. Right hand back, left hand forward. Finding a nice gentle twist here. Hands down on the ground. Now inhale, open your chest into cat. Exhale, bow forward. Feeling that stretch on the hamstrings. Inhale, arch your back like a cow. And then exhale, round your back like an angry cat here. Feeling that nice stretch. Back foot is still on toes. Inhale, puff up your chest. Lift up your chest a bit more. Exhale, bow forward again. Feeling that nice stretch. Rebend the knee again so that you can come into full crescent warrior. And when you're ready, see whether you can bend your elbows like cactus arms, half angel, opening the chest towards the sky or the ceiling above you. Possibilities as you find that nice chest opener. Hands down to the ground, open your chest and see whether you can bounce and take the left leg and crisscross it behind the right. Pinky toes touch, inhale, halfway lift, exhale so that you can bow forward here. Feeling that nice hamstring stretch on the opposite leg. If you have done the right, you'll probably feel it on the left. If you have done the left, you'll feel it on the right. And keep bowing forward so that you can even press your palms a little bit more and cross the legs. And so that you can take a deep forward fold. Sweep your hands up, grow tall, lift up, extended mountain pose, and then come into even standing Samasthiti here. dancer's pose on the right side. So that you can grab your left ankle with your left hand, kick against that hand until your body starts shifting towards the front. And then when you're ready, reach your right hand forward and feel as if you're pressing an imaginary wall, or create a mudra, the Jan mudra. Just be able to find balance, gazing at a point that is not moving, so that you can find the dance that is in you. Think of space, think of energy, and think of the time that you are making this movement. And keep kick even higher. Release that leg and so that you can come into warrior 3. Back foot is on flexing, for toes pointing down. You can bring your hands to your heart center. Keep gazing down just to balance. Or maybe still you can bring your hands behind you and open your chest as if you are doing upward facing dog, coming into aeroplane pose. And stay here. Inhaling, opening the chest, trying to balance on your entire right leg. Exhale. Keep reaching that leg back more towards the back. Inhaling, lifting the chest higher, leg higher. Bring your hands down on the ground and so that you can find standing splits. You can grab your back leg with your right hand and see whether you can bow forward onto that knee. Make sure again you are trying to engage everything so that you find balance. You can challenge yourself by grabbing your ankle as you kick the left leg even higher, more. Standing splits. Then gently release by bending your standing foot. Take downward facing dog. You can shake it out for a bit. Others, bring your right leg between your hands and then just shake it out, relax. Bend your knees slightly, gaze at the space between your hands and see that you can bounce and back, travel to your hands, coming into halfway lift. Exhale, bow forward. See whether you can slide your palms under your feet. Inhale, halfway lift, and then exhale, bow forward, elbows pointing outwards. Gorilla pose, gorilla asana. Just to be able to give this hamstrings a little bit of a stretch here before we go to the other side. Inhaling, exhaling. Breathing in and out. Lots of hamstring stretch today. Who am I going to nominate on day number 56 to be able to challenge themselves and do this practice? So keep staying on gorilla pose, maybe for about a minute, just be able to give the hamstrings a bit of a stretch and also the spine as you're bowing forward. Then release, then toe heel your feet to touch, and then start rising up very slowly, feeling the spine unroll, and then dancer's pose on the other side. So grab your right ankle now, and then when you're ready, kick against that hand and then start leaning forward. I did this in slow motion deliberately. And then the more you keep leaning forward, the more you find that you can even find more balance here. Shifting all that weight on the standing foot. Make sure your big toe is pressing the floor and the ground. And then start reaching the left hand forward. And then when you're there, you can adopt a mudra of your choice, or you can just think of an imaginary wall that you're pressing here to just get support. And then keep opening the chest, feeling that stretch on the right shoulder. Dancer's pose. Try your balance, Natarajasana. And my nominee for today is Peaceful Family. Peaceful Family is my amazing sister. She originally from Nigeria, but currently based in Russia, where she lives with an amazing family. She's my nominee and she's the one who normally closes the premieres. She's always the last person to leave premieres. She has perfected that, and I wish her well in this challenge. So Peaceful Sis, take your time, give us something before Christmas or even after, let us see what that challenge will look like. Keep reaching even higher, feeling that stretch on the right shoulder as you challenge your balance here for one more deep breath in. Exhale, and then from here you can release by bending your standing foot slightly, and then you can bring that right leg down. That's how you get out of dancer's pose. Otherwise, you could just, because remember we're in a sequence, we are going to release dancer's pose and see whether we can find ourselves into warrior 3. Stretching those hands forward, flexing the back foot. Keep that weight. I know the standing foot is screaming right about now. Sweep your hands behind you. Keep pressing the palms down as if you're pressing an imaginary thing. Coming into aeroplane pose, Dekasana. And then keep opening the chest here. gazing forward or at a point that is not moving, anchor your gaze and your focus, because where your focus goes, your energy flows there. Bring your hands down on the ground, grab behind your left leg, kick the right leg up, standing splits. Standing splits, another test of balance. As you keep lifting up, you can see that you can even grab the ankle with both your hands and just challenge your balance. And then gently release. Bring that left leg coming into low lunge. And then you can take downward facing dog just to ease that pressure on the legs, bending one knee at a time. Oof. Downward facing dog, the inverted V. Then drop your knees down as wide as your mat. Big toes touch the back. Stretch your hands forward, coming into child's pose, the pose of a child. Keep reaching forward, feeling that deep stretch as you sink your hips towards your heels. And just use this moment here to reset. 4-5 deep breaths only. Inhaling, exhaling. Let's just have a bit of a close-up here as we do the final postures here. Take your hands behind you, keeping your knees where they are. Now press your let your toes point towards the front, and then lift your hips up, coming into baby camel pose. Keep pressing your hands down as I lift your hips even higher, and then drop your head back, and then you can sink and sit down. Oof. Reset here. You can massage your wrists. Again, lift up and come into baby camel once again, dropping your head back. Stay here for a bit and then release. Then press your hands down, coming to downward facing dog, bending one knee at a time. Now lift your right leg up, coming into left leg into three-legged dog, and then bring that leg between your hands. Okay, keep pressing the hands down, come into full crescent warrior like we did earlier, and then bring your hands to your heart center. Sink a little bit lower, right elbow, left knee. Keep pressing the palms and find a revolve twist. You can even release that hand down and bring the left hand on your hips, or you can take the left hand across your back while twisting your chest. You're just trying to bring in mobility onto the spine. My back was so stiff on this day, and that's just why I needed just to get a practice that can help me ease these muscles. Twist a little bit deeper. Inhale, hands down on the ground, coming into low lunge. You can stay with the foot here for a bit. Otherwise, you can also attempt and see whether you can bring your hands inside and take lizard pose, Uttan Pristasana, for a bit. I love lizard as a posture. Not frog for sure, but lizard, anytime. Press your hands down, come into downward facing dog, bending one knee at a time. Right leg flies up, bring that leg between your hands. Take your hands up into full crescent warrior, hands to heart center, take a twist. Left elbow, right knee. Keep twisting, pressing the palms together into prayer as you rotate your torso more towards the left side. And you have to find that stretch even as you twist. The back foot is strong, powering through the back of the mat. And then one more breath here. Exhale, twisting a little bit deeper here. Just give you a bit of a side so that you can be able to see what's going on here. Keep pressing and twisting. And then you can even release that hand down. Take your hand across your back. Then stay here. Then bring your hands down. And then from here, so that you can take lizard pose, Uttan Pristasana, on the opposite side. Elbows on the mat. You can even get a block just to support your forearms there. And then inhale one more breath here. Press your palms down, lift up, downward facing dog, Drop your knees down and find your way back to lie on your back. Oh, this feels nice. Lie on your back. Relax your shoulders, stretch your legs. Bring your hands here for a bit. Now, we're going to do a spine twist here. So draw your right knee towards your chest. Pull it tightly and see that you can drop that knee towards the left side. Then gaze towards the right side. How are you doing, guys? I hope you're ready for the weekend. So you want to twist and you want to adjust accordingly so that you can keep the shoulders on the ground as you press that knee even more towards the floor. And just keep reaching the right hand even more towards the right side, just to be able to make sure the shoulders are melting onto the ground. Inhaling and exhaling. Spine twists are very good just to be able to bring in ease on the lower back. They give the lower back a bit of a relief or a stretch. Yeah, so you stay here for about a minute. Yeah, you can feel that release on the lower back. Supine twist. And then gently release by hugging the right knee back. Stretch that knee. Let's do the other side. So you draw the left knee towards your chest, and then so that you can adjust according and you have enough space, and then you drop that knee towards the right side, gaze towards the left. So you can even see from the creases on my shirt that there's a twist going on here. And then keep reaching the left hand. I'm a bit prevented by the wall here, but you get the drift. Just ensure that the shoulders are all the way down on the ground as you find your twist here. Inhale. Exhale. Your 1 minute here, just be able to find enough release. As you just power through for the weekend, sometimes you want to find ease. And then gently release, hug that knee in, and then release. Now, the next posture you're going to do like half, come into plow, but the feet don't really need to reach all the way to the ground. Push your hips forward, coming into half plow pose. So your feet just hover over the ground. And then from here, I want you to bend your knees slightly. And then we are going to do fish pose. So just to stretch the back there before you get that stretch on fish pose. And then drop the crown of your head down on fish. Inhaling and exhaling. And then gently release. And see whether you can find Shavasana. Palms facing up. Take a deep breath in through the nose. Exhale through the nose. Settle in. Shavasana. Deep rest. And then gently hug your knees towards your chest, rock and come into a comfortable sitting position. You can take easy seat, cross-legged or half lotus. Keep your spine straight. We finish our practice today with 3 deep breaths. Inhale, exhale. 2 more breaths like that. Exhale. 1 last deep breath in. Let it go. Namaste. Thank you so much for sharing me your practice today. I will see you on day number 57. All right? Please enjoy your weekend. Take care of yourselves. Thank you so much for joining me on this episode. Bye, guys.